Hi, my name is Zorga, and welcome to Stoicheia Judge Hall, or should we call it as literal hell itself. Today, we're here because my orders have been abused far too far. For so long, it was just very funny at first, right? You know, like, you guys can just keep giving your rearguards critical pressure out of nowhere or get triple drive for free, but I think it's gone on for far too long. Am I right? Huh? Claudine, Granfia, Lascaria, Night Rose, and shout out to that stupid Dragon Tree that also decides to keep using my You're Wondering, and also that stupid Bandmaster girl who's off having a costume change, and especially you, Cristianos, huh? All of you keep looping my orders out of nowhere, keep on abusing them to no ends, but times have changed and I'm taking what's mine back. So this is now back to me, restricted to me only, along with You're Wondering, so you all can suck my ass and try to play your own win condition. And what is that, Cristianos? What are you playing?
Father, I've moved on to greener pastures.
No! This cannot be possible!
I'm meta-relevant now, Father. You are just like a Lestial. Potential man defeated. All hail the new king of games, the greatest deck to ever live, stronger than Reds, greater than Philander. Baby. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Azul4 here. Today I am back to talk about my favorite post-banlist deck. Cristianos is the second best deck because Eugene is the best deck. Today we are here to talk about Cristianos post-banlist because most people don't believe in his deck anymore, which is highly unfortunate. This deck did get hit, unfortunately, because Bushiroad is trying to rein in a lot of the generic Stoicheia pile that a lot of people have been stealing from a lot of decks, which makes me very happy because I lost my WGP national invite because I lost to a Mushking player who was abusing You're Wondering Souls. So to that one guy, if you're watching this video, suck it. But you know, if not, hello everyone else. Today we are going to talk about Cristianos. This deck has gotten a few support cards here and there. It got support in set 7, then we threw it out immediately because we got multiple cards in Festival 2025, namely this guy who really makes the looping very easy. And we also received something more important and more precious to every child on earth. We received a reprint for a second Cristianos name, which basically means we have an even more consistent way to loop Severin. And because we keep playing good grade 1s in this deck, in DZ BTO6, while we were crying about Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion, you know, we also got this card, which basically gives 5,000 power to a rearguard for every one of your grade 1 or less rearguards on play. The thing is, Cristianos' whole board is virtually grade 1s at this point. He's basically Sanctuary Guard Dragon. So, again, very, very interesting times for this deck. I'm very excited to cover this deck. This deck profile we'll be showing here is the most expensive version of the deck. But a lot of the cards can be swapped for much more cheaper variants. You mainly just need the main core of killing in this deck, and the rest you can just fill it with pieces along the way. Frankly, this deck is still highly beginner friendly and highly competitively friendly, so no matter what walk of life you're from, you can still play this deck. I will put a link in the description below for our 2 previous Cristianos deck profiles. First, when he first came out as a start deck, and then in set 4 when he received quite a fair bit of support. And frankly, I think Cristianos is the only start deck I'll actually regularly update for the rest of this channel, unless you guys want to see Triumph Dragon or God knows what. And for the one guy who keeps asking for Astrum, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. Okay, we've moved on. We are on Rotovisor now. So let's talk about the right deck. The right deck is exactly the same, Cristianos' right deck. We stuck in Granfia in honor of Granfia's new Eugene double rare. Congratulations all Granfia players. Welcome to hell. So basically for this right deck is exactly the same, so I'll just skim over it very quick. Her skill is basically when rolled upon by this specific grade 2, you can draw 2 cards, and then after that you can discard 2 cards, right?
Yes, correct.
So basically it's a net filter. It is a net 0, but it does help you filter your hand and go through your drop, which is pretty important. And you know, during your turn, if you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard Cristianos in its name, if this unit is on a rearguard circle, it gains 5 continuously. So it is a nice 13k booster. Like I said, Cristianos is much better grade 1s right now, but you know, this is pretty alright.
It's a good backup in case you can't find
backup. Fruits of Sword Dragon are rolled upon by Cristianos. You can basically choose a grade 1 or less card from your drop zone and call it to the rearguard circle. Again, it's so strange that we as players are innovating towards this brand new grade 1 design to replace Nectar. But it seems like Bushiroad has been asking us to play grade 1s all along, so Suspicious. A certain someone is in my walls. Then the rearguard skill is basically the Guardian Circle skill is if you have Grade 3 Vanguard Cristianos is his name, this unit gains 10,000 shield. You could add this back to your hand if you play Ghost Chase, but we don't do that. We are better people. You understand that, Nairos? We're better people. So we are not doing that, but you can. No sin in that. Cristianos, the GOAT, the king, the best Stoicheia deck ever. CB1 and scan the whole deck for one copy of a card with the same name and add it to your hand, and this unit gains 10. On what earth do you get to infinitely guarantee Persona Rights in the deck and gain 10,000 power for one Counter Blast? Only Cristianos, baby. So again, you need to play for Persona because you can tell people I get continuous Persona Right, which not even Ezel can say that. So you know something's wrong. Second skill is very simple. You EB4 and then you mill the top 2 cards in your deck. Choose up to 2 Grade 3 or less cards from among them and call it the rearguard circle. So this is where most of your energy goes to building the board. There are specific targets you should be calling, so I'll get into that. The mill skill is kind of bad because, you know, for anyone who plays mill decks, you know, you can lose your over trigger. But in this deck, we don't care. We are here to win. We're not here to, oh wow, high roll. No, we're here to win. So we'll do that by any means necessary. Yeah. Again, this is from the start deck, so if you can't afford this guy, the card, I don't know. But the rest of the deck is pretty cheap. It's just that we use a fair bit of the expensive Stoicheia generics, which does suck. But like I said, if you have most of the playable core, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. The Grade 3s in this deck, very simple. So we play 3 Cristianos in the main deck, 1 in the right deck. We play 1 baby. The skill doesn't matter. Yep. It doesn't matter. You're using it because it has the Cristianos name. You just need a 4th copy. Then you also, to pay off this card, you play for Severin. It seems very weird to play extra garnets of a card that you can already Omni-search, but you can actually loop Severin because Severin, I won't cover Severin again, it's in the other videos, but basically Severin, when plays a Vanguard Circle, if you have Vanguard with Cristianos, it gains 10, and end of turn, it'll kill itself. And when this unit attacks 2 plus 1, and then this unit gains 5,000 power.
No. Give Vanguard 5,000.
You give the Vanguard 5,000 power. If you soul blast a Cristianos, you can stand it as well. Which basically, if you can find a way to put a Cristianos into the soul, you can restand this guy, right? Yeah. So it's a really hyper-specific restand, which we actually have found a way to cheat it out, and that's thanks to the Festival Collection Double Rare. It's basically Drilling Angel, but like 70 times better. So Phantom Blaster Overlord is rolling in his grave. But that's the main reason why we play the additional baby as the Cristianos name. Again, you can modify this ratio. You can play 2 of this. You can play 1 of this. I just think you do need to play a presence of the baby because it really gives you much more consistent Severin milling. Not milling, restanding, right? Yes. You just need to mill the rest of the pieces out. Correct. So what can we do to help that out with that? For our grade 2s are pretty easy. Our grade 2s, we play 4 Asponia and Saphira, and then 1 Twin Cast, and then our right line is still this Fruits Assault Dragon. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this was obvious for most people because Fruits Assault is in the right deck. We'll cover him again. Twin Cast is just for quick defense, and because this is a mill based deck, it's easy to mill this card and get you some little extra shield, which is appreciated. Asponia and Saphira is a pretty good card because yes, it is a bit expensive, but this is reprinted in Festival 2025, so that is the good news, right guys? Yeah. But the other thing is that it has a very dangerous synergy with grade 2 or higher cards, which again I do cover in the Nairos Encyclopedia, so you know I would really love it, you guys check it out. But basically you're using this in tandem with the fact that you play a lot of additional grade 3 names. A lot. In fact, you can even have the grade 3 Vanguard Cristianos as well, loitering around, and then you can just chuck into soul later on and it's completely fine. Oh, yeah. You don't even need to worry about it running out of the deck because later on we will reveal to you a very dangerous card that can put it back in the deck. So frankly, it's as if it was never removed from circulation.
One more thing is, it can add back orders into your hand,
so you can loop this card, yes. So we'll talk about that card right now actually. For our grade 1s, it's very simple. We play 1 for the right deck. This go.
We play 2 Whitewoods. We play 3 Philander, and the new double rare that we have been talking about, his name is Ascend Brave Shooter.
Yes. So he's like a Flagbird card, right?
A bit like that. We play 4 of our favorite $30 generic Harvest Elf. Yes. Yay.
Okay, but again, this is just because we can. If you can't, you don't need to play this card. Okay. I understand it's very expensive. Even I play Nairos, but frankly, you don't need it.
don't worry, we have 4 Feroids. This one you must play.
Yeah, this is a must play though. This is main of the deck. And for perfect guards. This is very important. You know why? You want to stay alive in Cardfight Vanguard. You want to survive buff Zorga. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm just gonna cover Feroid fairly fast.
Sure, go ahead.
So Feroid has the same skill that all the grade 1 promos had back then, which is when your grade 3 or greater whoever is placed, in this case is Cristianos, you soul last 1 coin back and you charge 1. Then the main important thing is that when this unit boosts a Severin, so you need to boost a Severin, better coin out early, guys.
Which you will, because you can
Choose 3 cards and of different grades. If you manage to choose 3 cards of different grades, right, you shuffle them into the deck. So you can shuffle back your triggers, you can shuffle back your Asmonia Saphira, you can shuffle back your orders if you want to.
Which is why we still have cards of different grade.
Oh yeah, and you also can shuffle back your own grade 3 Cristianos to do Persona Ride as well. So in case you have two grade 3 Cristianos in your drop, you can always circulate 1 back into the deck.
And then you can use the skill to counter blast and add it back to your hand. Wow!
Or and then circulate the other one from drop to the soul as well.
Yeah.
So,
but the other thing, the niche application, is that if you send back cards to the right deck, you don't actually inflate your deck. You just send it back to the right deck. Again, you may not always do that, but that is a niche application that allows you to, still get the full effect and not lose your deck thinning is deck winning. So it is not bad.
Alright, so I'm gonna cover Harvest also pretty fast. So basically, when placed on hand from rear from hand, you soul last 1 and call a plant token.
In the same column.
Yeah, in the same column. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted, you retire the whole entire column of rears. You must be 2 or more rears.
And then you draw 1.
You draw 1. Then if your bonus creature greater, which is in barrel, she gains plus 5,000 power, so she becomes a tank booster.
So again, they're all 3 separate skills. You are only playing this card as an early rush.
Yes.
The whole point of this card is just to rush early and push for damage, so that when Cristianos does his 5 attack combo on turn 3, you will kill. But realistically, you don't need to fork out the 3,000 yen per copy if you just don't feel inclined to play it. You can just play other grade 1 rush cards. There are plenty of in Stoicheia, but this is the most effective right now, so why not?
The main application is also because of this guy as
Fruits
well.
Assault can loop it, yeah.
So not really loop it, but once you can call Harvest Self back, so if you manage to call Harvest Self early on and then you just throw out whoever, then you can retire your Severin
and draw 1.
Draw 1. So
Yay!
it's not per se the best draw engine for Cristianos, but it's a very consistent one for rushing and utility wise.
It's just a great draw in general, so like you can play this if you want to. I even played Nairo, so I think it's very effective.
For Sam Brave Shooter, I think I want some people to say with me as well on this. So if you're grade 3, so continuous, if your Vanguard
is a grade 3 Cristianos or baby. Yeah, you can place a baby. Congrats, guys.
So he has a drop zone skill and then on place rear skill. So drop zone skill, when your units are brought back by card effects from drop
to the regular circles.
To the regular circle, any card effect. So that means even Asmonia also applies as well. You count plus 1 or energy plus 3 and you coin back to rear. After that, you can on the when placed on rear, you can choose any card you want. You can choose any card from your drop and place it into your soul.
Yep.
So
again, this is the main mechanism of which you put the Cristianos into the soul and thus ensure that you will get your multi-attacks early. You don't even need to rewrite. You can just put it in and done. Oh, yeah. So this is a huge invention.
Point out one more thing with if I will point out one more thing, if you notice as well, with these 2 cards alone, you spawn 2 rears in the barrel. And then Cristianos himself will spawn 2 rears. So you spawn 4 rears in total when you get all these 2 in the drop zone with your Severins as well.
Which is pretty easy, right? You just mulligan, you just mill it, and if you play your Philanders, which you can, we play 3 Philander in this list.
But you can always play 4.
But you can play 4, or you can just play other grade 1 milling cards. Again, it really doesn't matter because this deck is just that effective as long as you hit the certain pieces, right? So everything else is just means to an end. You can just hit the grade 1 millers and frankly it's fine. So again, that's the same for Philander. And last but not least, our secret tech, our Whitewood spell from set 6. Basically, you choose one of your rear guards and it gains 5,000 power for every one of your grade 1 or less rear guards on the board. So again, very simple because you just tag Severin, give him the power, and then Severin will restand with the power, and yeah, he just dies.
38k double swing Severin is not a joke.
Upgrade zeros, we have this guy, pretty standard, don't you think? It's just 8 crits. And then we also play 3 fronts because we just want to push for aggression and win the game because very frankly, we are very capable of doing that.
Also because, to be fair, Jaws doesn't really help your defense as much.
Because we'll thin out.
Yeah.
And that wraps it up for Cristianos. Frankly, I am very happy for this deck. I think this deck has a lot of potential moving down the line, and you know, I'm really excited to see how this deck goes. We managed to work out of a really bad ban list by innovating with the new synergies of our Great Ones and Severn and the looping, and I'm just really happy overall for Cristianos. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, check up on the Cristianos friends, they're not doing well. I strongly disagree. I think after Cristianos fans watch this video, they should be even more motivated to make the drive down to locals and play this deck as humanly much as they can before World War III or God knows what, because I freaking love this shit to death. I will play this at the WGP. I will play this at the Vanguard side. I will play this on my wedding day because it's so fun. Like, it's so addictive to just swarm rush, multi-attack, win. Like, the only thing stopping this deck is the price and the meme. Like, if you just lose to a random Vajula over trigger guy, you just die. But realistically speaking, if your opponent is not familiar with the source, he will die. And that's all I can say. Frankly, Cristianos players, the world is out there. Every other, you know, Rogue Knight Rose, Rogue Stoicheia deck may be dead, but you will stay alive as long as Bushiroad doesn't hit Severn, right?
Yeah.
Right. As long as you don't hit Severn, we're okay.
Oh, what are you doing here? I guess he has his new form coming soon.
Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Get out here, Garfield. You know how this